Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be breaking down the best heavy loadouts, including specializations, weapons, and gadgets for the heavy class. Heavy's in a very good spot right now, even though heavy just got nerfed yesterday. I'm going to be talking about specializations and then move from left to right, so if you want to find something, you can skip through the video in the timestamps down below. Without further ado, let's go and get started. So we have the Goo Gun. The Goo Gun is probably the least used specialization for heavy, and also probably the weakest currently, although there can be some very nice uses. For example, this can be used as kind of like a movement ability, so you can use it like this. And then, oh, it broke. I think maybe I shot too many. But you can use this, for example, to get up on top of groups. Jump up. For example, if your medium doesn't have zipline or jump pad, which would suck, or if they just don't want to use it here, you can use this. This is one way to use it. You can also use it to block doorways, like this. Oops. To block doorways. If you're going inside and you're setting up the cash out, like this, and then, for example, they have to break it, like the bot's doing right there, in order to get in. Now, the problem with this is, one, as you saw that fell, it broke. These break due to fire as well, and there are fire throwables all around the map, like these. So if I throw the fire right here, maybe I have to shoot it. Let's see. You can see this is gonna burn, and it burns upward, and this is just all gonna go away. So that's one downside. The other downside is that there already exists on the map a bunch of throwables that have goo inside of them. So this is nice to have because you can do a lot more and you can do smaller chunks. But overall, I would say the Goo Gun is not S tier, but it's kind of like a niche. Definitely don't see many people using it. So next is Charge and Slam. Charge and Slam, I'm going to equip a different weapon with this, like Sledgehammer. Charge and Slam does a lot of damage, and more importantly, it breaks through walls. So I'm going to show you both in one, see how much damage this does. And it can break through walls. So that does a lot of damage right there, and you can have like a Sledgehammer, and this does a lot of damage as well. We'll talk more about the Sledgehammer in a second. But let's go ahead and showcase the Charge and Slam one more time. So let's say I'm trying to chase someone through a wall like this right here. I don't want to go over or around the building. I can just do this. And then if I have a short range weapon like the Sledgehammer or the shotgun for heavy, this can be very good. Don't mind the fire. So yeah, I would say mainly Charge and Slam can be good with these closer range weapons, even Flamethrower. But for other weapons like these three in the middle, it's just not going to be as good. So keep that in mind. Charge and Slam, overall pretty solid. However, the best thing you can use is Mesh Shield. I'm not going to equip this right now because every time I equip it right now, I'm getting a bug, and it makes my weapon disappear, which is really annoying for the weapon support. But Mesh Shield is by far the best specialization, in my opinion, for the heavy class currently. It also just got a nerf down from 1250 HP to 1100 HP. It blocks a very large amount. It's basically like Reinhardt Shield from Overwatch if you played that. And you can look up, block up, and look down as well. So it's very good. You can use it to, whenever you're taking damage, you need to be healed. You can use it to help your teammates revive each other. You can use it to help your team secure a cash out. You can use it for pretty much anything. It's very versatile, it's very easy to use, and it's very strong. So I highly recommend using Mesh Shield. It's a little more support than Charge and Slam, and it's a little less fun, but overall I would say it's probably the best. But if you're going to pick between these three, I'd recommend Mesh Shield or Charge and Slam in their current states. Next, we have weapons. I'm going to start with Sledgehammer since we're already on it. Again, with Charge and Slam, this can be very good if you charge on top of someone, just kind of swing. But other than that, if your team and you are going to play close range fights, then this is a good time to pick Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer can also be used to break down walls and buildings. So you see this? If you break enough parts of a section of a building, you can actually destroy it. So you can do this in an actual game. Say, for example, if the cash out's in the top part of this building, you can drop it all the way down, and it can just kind of change the entire flow of a fight, and it can be very fun. Looks like, yeah, so here we go. And it just completely changes how a fight is going. You can also do this with Charge and Slam, like we're saying. But overall, I don't see a lot of heavies doing this. I do see some charging and trying to just kill people with the Sledgehammer. It does do a lot of damage, but other than that, I'm going to go and talk about the two most used weapons that I see. The most used weapon is going to be the shotgun SA-1216. It's very strong, and it's very, very annoying to play against. Again. Oops. So you can use this with Charge and Slam, and So basically like a 4-on burst, so let's just practice here. So you see every 4 shots I have to kind of like swap the weapon out a little bit, but this doesn't matter too much because up really close it does a lot of damage, and it does the same amount of damage from about this range as well. So you're gonna see like if I'm shooting from this range, it's gonna be able to about 3 burst them. A tip is if you've shot 3 bursts, either reload or shoot the last one until before you get into your next like engagement. Try to like hide, maybe reload so that you don't have to like, you know, because if I find someone and then I shoot them and then I have to cock this, it's gonna be really annoying. But overall, this weapon is really strong and really annoying to play against. Probably, I would argue this might be the best weapon that Heavy currently has. It's just very strong and very annoying. Other most common weapons I see are Lewis Gun and M60. Lewis Gun is really good. These two are very similar. Lewis Gun and M60 are very similar here and here. So the main difference is Lewis Gun has less bullets, but it has less recoil as well, and it's easier to control at range. If I were to play Heavy, I would use probably this gun or the shotgun. So that's what I would recommend. We also have M60. This is again very similar to Lewis Gun, but less range, more recoil, and more bullets. Much harder to control, but good up closer and medium ranges. Grenade launcher, not really great to be honest with you. You can use it, but not my favorite, personally. Flamethrower also can be good situationally, I guess, but if I'm going to choose a weapon, it's going to be... Yeah, it's definitely going to be either the shotgun, or I think this might need like a damage buff. I don't know, you guys can argue with me in the comments, but I think this gun needs a damage buff or some kind of change. Right now, it's going to be this gun and the Lewis Gun for me, personally. The shotgun needs to be nerfed quickly. But anyways, guys, I think I'm missing 2 guns here, but it's mainly because I just haven't seen them being used, and these are the ones that I think are the best right now. So next, let's go ahead and move on to the gadgets. So, okay, so let's see, what do we have? The two most important that you're going to want to think about for Heavy are going to be the Dome Shield. Number 1, absolutely the best gadget for Heavy by far. It's very strong. It's really hard to go wrong with. It's a shield. It does have limited damage, but if you use it in the right situation, it can be absolutely game-changing. It can turn the tide of a fight in your team's favor very quickly. So for that reason, this is S tier. This is the best gadget. And again, it can just be used in so many ways. Just like the shield, the mesh shield, it can be used to cash out. It can be used to help your team survive and prevent damage. It can be used to help your team stabilize and heal. It can be used to help your team revive. It can be used for pretty much anything. Just make sure you're not throwing it when your team doesn't need it. That's the main thing I would recommend. Other than that, we have the RPG. RPG is the second best in my opinion. It's just, if you're going to run a heavy loadout, you run RPG and Dome Shield generally, unless you're doing something special, because look how much damage this does, right? I mean, like, boom, and then they're dead, right? Like, what are you supposed to do if you're a light? You just get 1 shot. What are you supposed to do, right? So I like to run mines, but since this is heavy specific, we'll talk about C4, because C4 right now is still very good. What you can do is throw 1 or 2 C4 onto this. We'll throw 2. Pick this up. Oops. Let's see. Hit F, not E. And then you throw this, and then you right-click, right? Whenever it gets near an enemy. And generally, this is going to one-shot. They did actually nerf this yesterday, but it's still really annoying. So if you're going for the full meta heavy build right now, these are probably the 3 gadgets I would recommend running. Barricade's pretty garbage because you have the Dome Shield, which is just better. I mean, everything. A lot of these are in other characters. If you want to run a mine, you can run Explosive Mine or Power Mine. I like to run, honestly, Explosive Mine, but C4 is just better right now because, again, you can just... Let me try to do this one more time and see if I can one-shot. Oops. C4 armed! Okay, so I only have 1. Let's see if we can one-shot with just 1. No, okay. But either way, it's really annoying if you put both like that. You can even put both on top of like the cash out, and it's just really strong, right? So basically, the best gadgets are these 3 right here for heavy. There are other alternatives. The mines, like I said, these are all just grenades. I mean, you know, these grenades aren't necessarily bad, but the main thing I would say is horrible here is going to be the barricade, because when you compare it to the Dome Shield, it's just worse. It's not horrible, but it's just worse than the dome shield. So you run the dome shield. But these you pretty much run with anything. They're just universally good, and they're very strong. Running these things, especially dome shield and especially RPG, are going to increase your team's chances of winning. One thing I will say about the RPG is make sure you don't shoot yourself or teammates, or make sure you're being careful of these things whenever you're around them, because you can see this will actually do damage to me. And you can also hurt your teammates with these explosives, and yeah, so just be careful. But you can actually do a lot of damage as well. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions about heavy, this is again my top pick. I'd say mesh shield, this shotgun, or the Lewis gun. RPG dome shield, absolutely, and C4, or swap something out for the C4. And this is going to be the ideal heavy build right now in the current meta or state of the finals. So if you have any questions about this video or anything I said, or if you want me to make a guide for light, let me know, and I will absolutely do that. So peace out, guys. Have a good day.